Thank you to Keeps for sponsoring today's video. Welcome back everyone to today's briefing. We're going to be analyzing how dangerous the Chinese Navy will be in 2040. We're using as a reference the United States Navy report to Congress estimating how many ships they're going to have by 2040 and how they're going to get there and what those platforms' capability will be. The final number, according to the U.S. Navy, will be 333 combatant ships. That's everything from light frigates to destroyers to aircraft carriers, submarines, and everything in between that we'll talk about. They believe they're going to have 10 ballistic missile submarines, 6 aircraft carriers, 4 of which are the American-style catapult aircraft carriers, and a rapidly growing number of amphibious helicopter dock ships that will be used for amphibious operations globally with their reach. So we're going to get into that as we monitor how China's keeping their Navy strong, just like I want you to keep your hairline strong with Keeps. Keeps is an online subscription service that is both easy and affordable solution to treat male pattern baldness. I noticed my hair was thinning around the crown of my head about a year ago, and I thought, well, I better get used to wearing hats and covering it up, but there's a better way. Why not keep my hair? Keeps offers both the FDA-approved treatment that are clinically proven to work and a 2-in-1 gel that combines both treatments. These treatments are 90% effective in treating hair loss and can increase growth by 35%. I've noticed the hair growth increase in my life. I've been using this product for 3 months, but most men will see results within 6 months. Keeps has nearly 1 million men keep their hair and has over 4,500 5-star reviews. In addition to clinically proven treatments, Keeps offers hair thickening shampoo, conditioner, and styling pomade. Hair loss stops with Keeps. For my special offer, get started with keeps.com/subbrief or just click the link in the description. All right, let's start with the Type 003 Fujian aircraft carrier. This is the aircraft carrier that they completed construction about a year or two ago and has been in sea trials ever since. They're working out all the bugs because this is a very large, complex machine that China has built for the first time. To give you some context, whenever the United States built our new Gerald R. Ford class aircraft carrier that has the same catapult system as this one, she was in sea trials for years, something like 4 or 5 years, long time working out the bugs. So China is going through that process now. They're in year 2 of this. This is an 80,000-ton ship with an electromagnetic aircraft launch system and an integrated electrical propulsion system, or IEP. And that is the new hotness among navies because what they can do inside the ship is just generate power, electricity. And then they can redirect that electricity to do whatever they need it to do, whether it's push the ship through the water with the screws, or launch aircraft off the deck, or just keep the lights on. And all they have to worry about is running their engines, or in this case turbines, at the most fuel-efficient, optimal speed to generate that kind of power. So it's a brand new way of powering ships. It's becoming more and more common. China has put it on their latest aircraft carrier, the Type 003. Now, the real punch of this aircraft comes from its air wing, of course. We don't have an exact number of how many airplanes are going to be on this ship just yet, because as they're going through sea trials, they're not obviously maximizing the number of planes on board. And I should note that they also have a lot of self-defense missiles and close-in weapon systems on this ship, as you would expect, short and medium and long-range surface-to-air missiles. Now, they have the shipyard capacity and the time between now and 2040 to build 3 more of these if they choose to. That would bring the total number of carriers up to 6, 4 of which would be of the Fujian variety. So we could see up to 4 of this specific style of very capable aircraft carriers by 2040. As far as the ballistic missile submarines go, they have 2 different classes in 2040. Keep in mind, we're talking about the future here. Now, the Type 094 is the ballistic missile that they have right now. It's operational as I'm recording this. They have 6 of them, and they rotate them out regularly, keeping them at sea, both in northern China and in the South China Sea area down there. They are building 4 brand new ballistic missile submarines using advanced technology. We believe the integrated electrical propulsion system will be on this one as well, called the Type 096. That's the new ballistic missile submarine under construction. It's not in the water yet, so we don't have a lot of data on it, but we do know the missiles that these submarines launch. One is the JL-2 ICBM with a range of 4,500 miles, and the new JL-3, which is just a modified JL-2 with an extended range of 6,500 miles that can reach just about anywhere in the United States, right from China, so that covers all bases as far as China's concerned. They're going to have a total of 10 of these, 6 of the 94s, 4 of the 96s. Something that concerned me while I was researching this was this breeder reactor called the CFR600. This was under construction. It's due to be complete and be fully operational very soon. I would assume this year, 2024. When it's fully operational, this fast breeder reactor will be able to produce 330 kilograms of weapons-grade plutonium a year. That is a lot. That is a lot of nuclear weapon-grade plutonium. They'll have between 1,500 and 2,000 warheads by 2040, and those can vary in weights in terms of performance. It can be what's commonly called a light or limited or tactical nuclear weapon, a smaller warhead, or the large destructive city killers that are used as a MAD defense, a mutually assured destruction. They'll have the capability of producing both of those and having options for limited nuclear war for those that subscribe to that doctrine, or MAD defense. Protecting those ballistic missile submarines and aircraft carrier is this brand new, not even laid steel yet, but will be finished by 2040, Type 095 SSN. This is the Chinese Virginia class, essentially. They'll have time to build up to 10 of these. They've already have them designed, which is why we have an artist rendition here. This is not a real photo, it's an artist rendition, because it's already been designed. And they're tweaking the design, but we have the basic outlay right now. The shipyard that is building that new ballistic missile submarine, 4 of those, is the same shipyard that will be assembling this. But they have to wait until there's space. So once those new ballistic missile submarines are complete, they're going to begin building this one here. And it's essentially, and we don't know for sure, but it looks like it's a Virginia class with a Los Angeles class type VLS system. That may change by the time they start building it, but that's what it looks like right now. They will build, or they could build, 10 of these by 2040 in that shipyard. Right now, though, they have this little beauty. This is the Type 093 nuclear submarine. They have 6 of these, right? And we recently did a submarine briefing on this one, so if you watched that, you already know a lot about these. The top 3 that are on this side of the screen are the most capable ones. They're the most like a Los Angeles class in some limited aspects, and the 3 over there were stepping stones, if you will, to get to building the 3 here. But they all fall under the same type of submarine, the Type 093 SN. These are at sea right now. They're not building any more of them because they're building the 095 next. They're moving on from this design. But they're still going to be around in 2040. So the SSKs, the Type 039 is the diesel electric or conventionally powered submarines that China fields right now. They have about 47 of these. They're expected to have 45 to 46 in 2040, assuming that they lose one or they retire one. They're not building additional ones faster than they're retiring them between now and 2040. So the total number will stay the same, even though they will be newer submarines built. Now, these submarines are very good at area denial. So what I expect China to do with these conventionally powered diesel electric submarines that are very quiet and carry heavyweight torpedoes is to strategically place them in choke points and high traffic areas in the theater of war that they've decided to go into, and just wait. And whenever an adversary comes along, whether it's a supply ship or a warship, it takes it out with that heavyweight torpedo and conducts an evasion. And because they're going to have over 40 of these, they'll be able to keep dozens at sea at a time and rotating them out regularly. So this is a real threat. Don't be fooled by the age of these submarines. They are replacing them. They're just not building them faster than they're retiring them, which is keeping that total number around 45 plus or minus 1. All right. This is probably the most underrated, underreported ship in the Chinese Navy, the PLAN. This is the Type 075 LHD, Landing Helicopter Dock Ship. They're building 6 of these. They're 40,000 tons, powered by diesel electric motors. They can only make 24 knots because they're huge, but that's because they're full of military equipment, including helicopters, VTOL aircraft, and something the Chinese do with this that is a little bit different than the United States is that this is also an ASW platform. They will send a ship like this out to perform an ASW mission as well as support amphibious operations. So this is a very multi-role ship with a purpose-built design of amphibious operations. Amphibious operations first, ASW second, supporting that with aircraft and Marines always. Right here, they're going to build 6 of these by 2040. And supporting these and doing a very similar mission is the Type 071 amphibious transport dock. They will have 14 of these in 2040. This is a little bit lighter at 25,000 tons, but it's a lot bigger than it appears in this picture, because on board they have 4 air cushion transports, and on those transports, Chinese sources claim, that's a big caveat, they can have 60 fighting ships of various sizes and weights on this ship and be able to transport it on and off with those air cushion transports. But that's what China is claiming, is that they can have 800 troops on board this ship with 60 fighting vehicles and 4 air cushion transports ferrying them to and from the beach. They also have a 76mm gun there on the bow and multiple close-in weapon systems to defend the people on board. Now, this is the one everyone knows about. Everyone's always emailing me to do a ship brief on the Type 055, this arsenal ship of a destroyer. This is the Chinese Ticonderoga. As we retire ours, they're building new ones. They've already got 8, folks, and they're building 1 to 2 a year going forward. They're going to have a lot of these. This ship right here is a guided missile destroyer, weighs in at 13,000 tons, and is powered by 4 gas turbines, high-pressure gas turbines, in a co-gag configuration, which means they can spin up all 4 at the same time and push the ship through the water at a very rapid rate. It's going to be burning fuel like you wouldn't believe, but it's going to get there in a hurry. It's going to be able to get to the next gas station in a hurry. It's got 2 shafts. It carries 128 VLS cells. Now, those cells can carry anything that they want, from medium, long-range surface-to-air missiles. They can even have a VLS torpedo in there. And then, of course, anti-ship and land attack cruise missiles are all part of this arsenal. In between those VLSs on the bow and the ones right above my head, they can have a wide variety of defensive and offensive weapons on board this ship. They also have a 130mm gun on the bow if they run out of those, and they have helicopters that are multi-role, including anti-submarine warfare. They have 8 right now. They're building 15 more for a total of 23 by 2040. And this ship is so successful, there's a chance that they don't stop building them after they build 15 more. We will have to wait and see about that. So this is the Type 055. This is what I would call the Fleet Defender. This is the Ticonderoga class of the Chinese PLAN. All right, now supporting that in a much more cost-effective, reasonable ship is the Type 052 DDG and its variants. And I need to stress this, all these ships going forward have lots of different variants that we're not going to go into. This is just an overview. They have 55 of these little bastards, and they're going to continue building them all the way through 2040. They can do 30 knots. This is one of the fastest ships in the Chinese fleet that's not a submarine. It has a co-gag turbine propulsion and a mix of short and medium-range air defense missiles in its VLS. This is going to be sailing alongside that Type 55, providing air defense for the fleet. And every ship, including the destroyers we've talked about in the past, have the YJ-83 anti-ship cruise missile on board. Chinese shipbuilding doctrine has made sure every ship has at least 4 to 8 of these anti-ship cruise missiles on board. So there is a wide diffusion of arsenal among all the ships. Instead of just one ship having all the anti-ship cruise missiles, like a Type 55 could have, they've mixed it up among all the ships. So if you take out a large ship, like the large Type 055 destroyer, they don't lose all their anti-ship capability in one pot. So all these ships going forward will have anti-ship capability. This is a multi-role destroyer. She can do ASW warfare, fleet defense, and anti-ship attack as well. Let's talk about the frigates, folks. Holy smokes. This is the Type 054 FFG on the top. They have 30 of these right now. They'll be continuing to build these and replace these going forward. They're powered by a co-DAD system, which is a diesel and diesel combined system to push the ship through the water at 27 knots. Now, these smaller ships don't have the endurance that the larger ships have. They can't stay at sea as long. Their gas tanks aren't as big. They burn through their fuel much faster, and they're a little bit slower than the big boys or the newer ones. So if they're going to deploy for a long period of time at sea, they'll need a support ship to stay with the fleet. So right now they have 30 of the ones up top, the Type 054 FFG and its variants. Here at the bottom is the Type 056. Now this is a fast frigate light FFL. It's also called a corvette. Whichever term you use, whichever classification you use is correct. There's no need to argue about that in the comments. What is impressive about this little thing is they've built 80 of them. They're very cheap and they can make them very fast. They only weigh about 1,500 tons. They're powered by very simple to maintain diesel engines that are reliable, but they only do like 25 knots. So as you add ships like this to the larger fleet, you're slowing the top speed of that fleet down. So this typically would be used as more of an offshore patrol vessel or just supporting local shallow littoral waters. With its 76mm gun on the bow, it does carry the YJ-83 anti-ship cruise missile, and it has a great ASW sonar on the bow. So it's an ASW platform with anti-surface ship capabilities, and of course the helicopter pad on the back. This is what the Chinese Navy is going to look like in 2040, and they have 80 of these right now, and they could easily build many more between now and 2040. All right, and remember, hair loss stops with Keeps, everybody. For my special offer, go to keeps.com/subbrief. Click the link in the description. All right, now that you know and you understand where China is going between now and 2040, you need context of where they are now. So click here to see a detailed breakdown of the Chinese naval capabilities currently in use in the Red Sea today.